Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new, welcome. Today we're learning how to make a durag and a bonnet without a sewing machine. Yay! So you get the things you need. I already put them there. The first thing I'm going to do is measure how wide you want your bonnet to be. I'm using 25 inches, but if you want yours to be really big, you can use like 40 inches. Now I'm folding on where I marked the first 25 inches. I'm going to measure another 25 inches, this time vertically. I'm marking it again and we are going to fold once again. 25 inches. I'm going to fold again. This way we have like four parts. We're cutting out a circle, so that's why I'm folding it to four sides.
Oh! What's it, mommy?
The next thing I'm going to do is mark out like the radius. Yeah, since the circle. I'm using 13 inches. Like that's going to be the width of the bonnet or of the circle. So I'm using 13 inches. I'm just marking it. Place your tape rule the way I placed mine here and mark your 13 inches. Yeah, I'm just making sure everything is 13 inches. I'm going to trace it together, and the next thing I'm going to do is cut it out. This is like one quarter of the circle because you folded into four. Now I'm going to cut it out to get the full circle. We've gotten our full circle. So now I'm placing it on the rest of the fabric. When you place it on it, the next thing I'm going to do is just cut it out, because we're going to need two different circles for our bonnet. Just cut it out. Try to make it as circular as try to make it look like a circle. Don't know what I just said. What is circular? Now we're done. We're going to place it on each other and sew. I already placed it on each other here. The right sides are facing each other. That's the shiny part. Now I'm just marking out an inch off the circle because I want to sew it. So I'm marking it out so it will be easier to sew. After I mark it out, I'm going to trace it to make it easier to sew. You don't need to make yours a full inch. It shouldn't even be a full inch. It can be like half of an inch. I'm just holding it down with pins to make it easy to sew, and so it to be like straight. Now I've started sewing. I'm going to try to make it as firm as possible because you know what it is now, and like to avoid loose stitches. I did this like 2 weeks ago and the bonnet is still okay. It is not losing yet. So to get something like that, you have to make it as firm as possible. You're just going to sew it round. I promise it doesn't take time. I was even surprised at how fast it was. So I'm just going to sew and sew. Also, when you're sewing, you're not going to like sew everything. You leave out about 2 inches because we're turning it inside out to the right side, and obviously you need space to turn it. So to turn it, you can just use your scissors to make it faster, just like I'm doing here. If you are trying to use your hand, it will obviously take a lot of time. So using your scissors makes it faster. Now I've turned it inside out. You can see that it is the shape of a circle, kinda. I didn't really get the shape, but yeah, it's close to it. Now again, I'm marking out an inch off the circle. This is what we're going to pass our elastic through. I'm marking an inch because my elastic is an inch wide. So if your elastic is an inch wide, you mark out an inch. If it's half, you can mark out half of an inch. So I'm just going to trace it down like I did before. I'm going to use pins to hold it down too. before sewing, just to make it easier to sew. Now I'm just sewing it round. This is the outer part of the bonnet, the part everybody is seeing. That 1 inch is where our elastic is going to pass through, don't forget. And we're also going to use that space we left before. That's where we're going to pass the elastic through. So you can see that leaving that space is very important. That's the space I'm talking about. I'm done sewing. Now I'm measuring the elastic I need. I marked 22 inches. I think it was too long. I ended up reducing it. So now I'm just going to pass the elastic through the casing. Use a safety pin. So we're using a safety pin to pass the elastic through. Then you pin the other side down, the other side of the elastic, so it doesn't get misplaced inside the bonnet. As you can see, it's really big and the elastic is really small. So if you should mistakenly enter like this, you have to start again. Now I'm just going to pass it through, push and pull, and push and pull. Just keep doing that till it comes out of the other end. When it is out of the other end, you sew it down together. You sew the two ends together so you can adjust it easily. If you don't sew it together and you're trying to adjust it, obviously the elastic will get into the bonnet, and then you have to find a way to bring it out and start the whole process all over again. Now I'm just adjusting it after sewing it down. As you can see, our bonnet has come to life. Our baby has been born. What was that? Now I'm just sewing the part that I left open before. The part we left open while we're sewing the inside. I'm sewing it down together. This is the last thing, and your bonnet is ready, good to go. Beautiful. I was so proud of myself because this was the first attempt and it turned out well. Now for the durag, I measured my brother's head round, and then it was 22 inches, and I'm going to need half of that, which is 11 inches. I need just half because the fabric is going to be folded into two as I did there. So when you open it up, it's going to still give you that 22 inches. Now I'm just making sure I have 11 on all the sides, and I'm trying to make sure it is equal. So yeah, I have 11. So next thing we're going to do is measure the length of the rope of the durag. I'm using 30 inches because I felt like that was long enough. Now I'm just marking a straight line down. I don't know where I kept my ruler, that's why I'm freestyling. I won't have to mark it if the fabric was straight, but the fabric was not straight, so I just needed to making sure it's still 11 inches and I've not shifted the fabric. The next thing we're doing is the width of the rope, how wide the rope is going to be. I'm using 3 inches. Now you want to curve the bottom part because I don't think it's always straight. I'm using 3 inches. Now you're going to mark that 3 inches up, but not to the upmost part. The next thing we're going to do is mark out the length we need for the durag, the part that is going to cover your head, just your head, not your back and your neck, which is 8 inches. So you continue tracing that theory till you get to where we marked our 8 inches. That's how long the rope is going to be. The next thing we're doing is marking out the actual length of the durag. That is the part that covers the head, your back and your neck to the length you want it to be. I'm using 20 inches here. After that, I'm just going to join it together. I'm leaving an inch between where the rope stops and this part that I'm marking now. What I had after I left an inch was 6.5 inches. As you can see, it was an inch. Now I'm joining the 20 inches and the 6.5 inches. I'm joining it together. Now I'm just going to join all the lines that I drew before. Join them. You're going to curve this part, trace it down. I'm also going to curve this part. We're also curving this part because the edge is not like 4 corners, it is curved. So this is the pattern of the durag.
Swimming like a bird, dreaming, I can fly to anywhere. You are, that's right.
So this is what it should look like. Now I'm just cutting it out. Make sure you cut out the both part of the fabric together, like I folded it to make it two, so make sure you cut out both of them together. Curve where you need to curve. The place that needs to be straight, make it straight. This is also my first attempt at making a durag. I just did it for the guys that are subscribed to my YouTube channel, so yeah, you guys are welcome. If you've enjoyed this video so far, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I don't think you should use satin if you're actually trying to durag and you plan on wearing it out, because it was pulling out. And I don't know, if you want to use satin and it's pulling out, you can decide to sew the edges actually to make it look better. I would have actually done that, but I was really tired and I was feeling lazy. Oh no, I'm actually really busy with school and exams are next month, so yeah, that's why I didn't do it. Thanks for understanding. So now I'm pinning it down because I'm going to sew it. This part is the only part we are joining to make it a full durag. So I just left out 1 inch and I'm sewing it down. I left out 1 inch. I'm just going to sew it through the part that I pinned. Make sure this curved part, make sure you actually curve it in when you are sewing. If you don't curve it in, when you are done, that part will be pointy, it will be pointing out when you eventually wear the durag. So this is actually the only part that needs sewing if you are using a good material, but because I'm using satin, I needed to sew every other edge, every other part. Now I'm just sewing the lower part, like the bottom of the durag, just folding it. After pinning it down, I'm going to sew it. When I said it was pulling out, this is what I meant. It was really pulling out. But now I'm done with the durag, to my own satisfaction for now. If I want to do a better one, maybe I'll try it out later. Now this is our bonnet and our durag. It was very easy and I hope you guys learned a thing or two. I was so excited when I finished that night. I made videos immediately. So yeah, you got to see my face in the end. This is the durag. Thanks for coming this far. If you try it out, please let me know. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Bye.